Dear students, welcome you all for the English class. Hope everyone has finished the homework given in the last class. Now let's continue the story, The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle, written by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. In the previous class, we saw that how the hat came to Sherlock Holmes through Peterson, and what happened to the owner of the hat, the tall man, Mr. Henry Baker. And then we found Dr. Watson and Dr. Holmes examining the rugged black hat and deducing facts from that. I'll read the story. While Sherlock Holmes and I were talking, Peterson rushed into the room. He showed us a beautiful blue diamond that his wife has found in the goose. Sherlock Holmes immediately recognized it as the beautiful gem that had recently been in the news. Holmes recalled reading about the theft. It had been stolen from the Countess of Marker while she was staying at the Hotel Cosmopolitan. A plumber who had come in to set something right in the room had been accused of the theft. Ryder, an attendant at the hotel, had given evidence that he had shown the plumber in shortly before the stone went missing. The Countess was very fond of the gem and was offering £1,000 as a reward for its recovery. When Watson and Holmes were talking, Peterson came with a blue diamond in his hand. Holmes found that it was a stolen diamond from the Hotel Cosmopolitan. It belongs to the Countess of Morcar, and she is really very fond of the beautiful gem. You see, Watson, our little deductions have suddenly assumed a much more important and less innocent aspect, said Holmes thoughtfully. The question for us to solve now is the sequence of events leading from a rifled jewel case at one end to the crop or appearance of a goose in Tottenham Court Road at the other. Everyone is confused and wanted to solve what between the rifled. Okay, rifled here means that stolen, and rifled jewel case means that the stolen jewel case, and the goose found in Tottenham Court. The first step Holmes took was to place the following advertisement in the paper: found at the corner of Goodge Street, a goose and a black felt hat. Mr. Henry Baker can have the same by applying at 6:30 this evening at 221 Baker Street. This brought Baker to Holmes, and after a little conversation it became quite clear to us that he was innocent. So Holmes gave him a fine goose to replace the one he lost, and sent him very happy and contented. This is the advertisement given by Sherlock Holmes to find out who Henry Baker is. The next step was to trace the seller of the goose. Some questioning of Mr. Baker led us to the seller of Mr. Breckenbridge. A little conversation with him, and we found Baker's goose. Mr. Baker's goose for Christmas had come from a lady called Mrs. Oxshott from Brixton Road. As Holmes and I were making plans to contact Mrs. Oxshott, we heard a hubbub near Mr. Breckenbridge. The goose seller was shaking his fist at a little rat-faced man who was whining that the goose was his. "Ha! This may save us a visit to Brixton Road," whispered Holmes, and went after the man. They both gave a thought to go to Brixton Road. To contact Mrs. Oxshott, they heard a hubbub. Hubbub here means that a noisy sound in the neighborhood, Mr. Breckenbridge home. Then they found Mr. Ryder, a little rat-faced man shaking hands with Breckenridge, and the goose seems to be his. So Holmes analyzed all the clues and found that the man, it turned out, was Ryder, the hotel attendant. He was Mrs. Oxshurst's brother. She bred geese for the table for her living and had promised Ryder for a fine goose for Christmas. Ryder, who had given evidence against the plumber, was the one who had stolen the gem. He went to see his sister with the gem in his pocket. He put it into the mouth of the goose he thought that his sister had reserved for him, to avoid being caught red-handed. So the thief, it turned out to be a rider, the hotel attendant. He was Mrs. Oxshurst's brother. She bred geese for the table. That is rearing geese to say that for the sake of their livelihood, for its need to earn money. Mrs. Oxshurt is the sister of Mr. Ryder. She has promised a fine goose for her brother on Christmas. So Ryder went to his sister's place to get the goose, but since he had the stolen diamond in his pocket, he put the diamond into the mouth of the goose so that he doesn't get caught red-handed. Red-handed here means to get caught in a state of doing crime or theft. However, he got the wrong goose, and the goose that had the gem got sold to Mr. Baker through Mr. Breckenridge. In despair, Ryder tried to recover the goose from Mr. Baker by having him waylaid by hoodlums. But as it happened, neither did Ryder get the goose, nor did he recover the gem, because Mr. Peterson came by and frightened the roughs away and brought the goose to Holmes. Here it says that Ryder has got the wrong goose, and the goose with the gem was sold to Mr. Henry Baker. After coming to know this, Ryder sent a gang of hoodlums or strange violent rough men to attack Mr. Henry Baker and get the goose from him. It was at this time Mr. Peterson interrupted and everyone ran away from the scene, and the evidence was brought to Holmes, and with logical reasoning and clever deductions from those evidence, Sherlock Holmes found the thief. This is the story of the adventure of the Blue Carbuncle. Carbuncle is nothing but the name of the diamond, the gem. Let's see the character names. Sherlock Holmes is the detective here, and Dr. Watson is the narrator, and he is a charming autobiographical character of Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Mr. Peterson is the door attendant here. Mr. Henry Baker is the tall man who was waylaid by the hoodlums. And Mrs. Oxshott, she is a goose rearer at Brixton Road. Mr. Breckenridge, he is a goose seller. He gets goose from Mrs. Oxshott. Mr. Ryder is the hotel attendant, and he is the brother of Mrs. Oxshott. Countess of Morcar, she lost the beautiful gem at Hotel Cosmopolitan. So the summary of the story is that, yeah, Sherlock Holmes, who is a detective who works with his friend Dr. Watson, he and his friend Watson met and discussed the black hat brought by the door attendant Peterson. Peterson found a fat goose and the hat from the scene, in which a tallish man was attacked by a group of hoodlums. While he was rushing to protect the man, everyone ran away from the place, leaving behind the fat goose and hat. So Peterson brought them to Holmes in order to find its background. Watson and Holmes both examined and made deductions from the old damaged black hat. As they were talking, Peterson came with a blue diamond. He says that his wife found this blue gem in the mouth of the goose. Then they gave an advertisement in the paper and found Mr. Baker, Henry Baker, who was very innocent. Then they happened to hear the noise from their neighborhood, Mr. Breckenridge. It was Mr. Ryder, brother of Mrs. Oxshett, who rears goose for her living and sells to Breckenridge for money. She promised to give a fine goose for her brother, Mr. Ryder, but he had stolen a blue gem in his pocket when he visited his sister. In order to not get caught, Ryder put them in the mouth of the goose, but the goose was wrongly sent to Mr. Breckenridge and he sold it to Henry Baker. So to recover the gem, Ryder sent hoodlums to attack Mr. Henry Baker and get the goose from him. So as the fight was going on, Peterson entered and they got frightened and ran away. With all the clues and logical reasoning skills, Holmes found the thief and solved the mystery. That's the story of the adventure of the Blue Carbuncle. So the homework for this class is you all should write, you all should draw a sequential map or a mind map on the events that happened in this short story. Thank you.